you're not in Bill's office. What do you,
I just got home from Vermont. I couldn't get down there fast enough.
oh,
I know he misses me though.
yeah. What were you doing in Vermont?
We had 70 people up there.
Oh,
Little,
very
little get together in the backyard, you know.
yeah. Let's see. Do we have a quorum yet here? I'm just checking the.
Looks like it.
Let's see, what time is it? Is it almost 5:30? Give it a couple minutes.
Sure.
Are you babysitting tonight, Woody? Isn't it your babysitting day?
It is. Ellen took him to the Clinton Library where she's keeping him busy for a little while longer. So there may be an interruption shortly. You never know.
Don't mention. I won't mention that you said Clinton Library, but you're being taped too, I think. But
That's
Keep it
okay. I wish we had programs like that.
yeah, mention it to Sunny. I'm sure she'll.
Yeah, right. I'd like to continue to be allowed in the building.
But if you want to rent a weed whacker, Madison's the place to go.
Yeah.
I'll give it one more minute. Let's see, it's 5:30. Call the meeting to order. We're taping. Raquel, you're taping. I think I heard you say you're recording. Yeah, I
It's
see it.
recording.
Beautiful. Okay, public comment. Do we have any members of the public with their hands raised that would like to speak?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Do we have any public at all?
We have Katie Stein, Seth Klaskin, and Paul Worthiem. Not sure who that is.
Got it. Okay, well, we'll give them there's a second opportunity for public comment later in the in item 6 on the agenda. So we'll move on. Item number 2, approval of minutes, June 20th. Does anyone want to make a motion?
Whoops. Yeah, I'm happy to make a motion that the minutes of the previous meeting be approved.
Do we have a second? Any discussion? No, do we have a second?
I'll second.
I'll second it.
Amanda, second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Approved unanimously. I assume no nays. Moving on to item number 3, construction manager draft RFQ, which Adam distributed, I think last week. So Adam, I don't know if you want to just take us through it a little bit.
Yeah. So we'll do the construction manager RFQ first and then the commissioning agent RFP. So running a very similar process to what we did with the architectural selection. The construction manager RFQ, it's that same initial shot across the bow to get the firms in and get their qualifications and get the interest. So with the construction manager, we'll have a separate RFP that will have some of the more nitty gritty defined details and pricing. So like I said, this first one for the RFQ is just to get the pool developed as they submit their qualifications. So really the goal tonight is just to review any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, edits you all might have. If none, or if there are other ones that can be incorporated, then I'll bake those in and then work with Raquel to get both documents published and on the street by the end of the week here. That's the target. So for the construction manager RFQ, like I said, it's pretty simplistic in terms of just defining the overall process that they'll be going through and what we're kind of looking for in terms of experience and whatnot. In terms of the actual qualifications, they're a little less stringent than the architect firms were, just because there are so many qualified architects within Connecticut. You can kind of nail down into, we want a host of K through 12 schools within Connecticut in X amount of years. Whereas with the construction manager, because there are fewer firms, but all of them are good, it's just they might not have had 10 different school projects in Connecticut in the past 5 years. It was worded to be a little more broad. Let me try to pull up the verbiage here. Yes, it was 5 completed school projects using a CM risk with GMP delivery method within the Northeast region in the United States. So that way, if there was something just over the border in Massachusetts, it's still a substantive construction project that will serve as good evidence of whether or not they can perform the work. So really just kind of opening up to the committee if there are any, like I said, questions, thoughts, concerns, proposed changes, anything like that.
No, I thought it was great and appreciate you including so many mentions of what we're trying to do with the school. I think it looked really good.
Yeah, I think the criteria, I think it was just about right. I mean, opening up, I like the Northeast, the 5 in the Northeast gives you some opportunities, some good firms. But you do want to have someone with a couple of Connecticut-based schools. So I think you struck the difference, in the size. I think it was 100 million over X number of years. So I think that would give us a pretty good shot. I think we'll get a pretty good representation.
Yeah, Graham, if I could, I wouldn't, and if someone doesn't have 2 in Connecticut, I wouldn't necessarily disqualify them. It's preferable as the language.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because I mean, there's some firms in Mass, Rhode Island, Duke would work. And we know, you work with them. Yeah. So there's a couple of guys, I'm looking forward to them. Coincidentally, I think the person who did the high school, the firm that did the high school, Dimeo, who's very good, does quality work. I don't know if they've been player in Connecticut, but they
want to be. They want to be. We've had kind of stringent requirements, or we're probably in hindsight a little too. That's why we're recommending change. Because if you can build a building, I mean, some of these folks do healthcare that's probably more complicated. It is more complicated than this building will be. So, if they can build the building and if we were occupied construction, maybe different because that's a different game. If you know how to operate within a school, then that's a little bit trickier. So,
no, I agree. I think you're right on with the selection criteria. So,
yeah, good.
And we're gonna kick the tires of them anyway. So, George, did you have any thoughts? I know you're old school GC guy, but
yeah, that's me. No, I thought it was excellent draft of it, and just I won't burden everybody by restating, but just what everybody said. We're gonna get a chance to talk to these folks and get comfortable with them, and if you can do a complex project, you can do the school. I'm confident of that.
So it seems like everyone's on board with going ahead and finalizing and publishing at the end of the week here. So in terms of just next steps for the construction manager, we'll see the number of qualifications that are submitted. If there's a sizable number, then we'll circle back and see if some of those preliminary interim interviews, those discussions, would be helpful to drill it down to a short list. If not, if there's only, let's say, 6 firms that submit, then we can jump in straight into the full-blown interviews and skip the intermediate step and get some real meat on the bones of the applications for consideration. So we have that flexibility baked in, and we'll just have to see what comes in, see what the committee's preferences are, and then schedule the special meetings accordingly to suit what the plan wants to be. All right. So that's all I had on the construction manager RFQ. I can jump right into the commissioning agent RFP. So with the commissioning agent, because there's fewer moving parts and pieces moving on, and there's less, it's more of a set scope, if you will. There's not a lot of personality that and back and forth needed necessarily with the commissioning agent. We'll just combine the process into a single RFP, and get the fees and everything baked in as part of one document. I did take the liberty of having a conversation with Craig Raza at Kohler Ronan about what might make sense in terms of some enhanced geothermal commissioning. And so the bullet points I baked into there were based off of Craig's suggestion and some of the lessons learned at Mansfield with regard to monitoring of grout sampling for thermoconductivity and things of that nature. So that was the main technical tweak that we've updated as GeoExchange becomes more and more prevalent, and you guys get the benefits of having seen some of the schools try to implement it. Modify the RFP accordingly to that end. So again, opening up to the committee, any thoughts, questions, comments, etc. Mostly
Woody,
looking at you, Woody.
I'm sure you have some thoughts.
No, I was basically pleased with both documents with regard to the areas that, I have concerns about. So the only comment I might make, Adam, if possible, I'd like to be included in some of those conversations in the future, if it makes sense. That's all. I mean, but I thought what Craig said was spot on.
Yeah, I snagged him, but I was talking to him about Mansfield something. So yep, I can bake you in, no problem.
Yeah, and some of those may not make sense, and I totally understand.
Yep, absolutely. Then just in terms of process with the commissioning agent, again, we'll see if how many firms submit and what the committee's preferences. We may not. You may all not elect to do interviews with the firms because they might not provide a lot of value. But again, we can react to what the proposals are in terms of fees and qualifications and their proposed work and go from there. So biggest thing again is just kicking this out the door and start getting data to munch on. So unless I hear anything else, I'll plan to proceed with publishing this RFP by Friday as well.
Works for me. Perfect. Thanks.
Yep, great.
Great
Very
job.
good.
Thanks.
I'm gonna grab I can jump right into invoice packet if you.
Yeah, you're on a roll.
I'll just keep going. Somewhere out there, Bill is smiling in the inside at how much we're knocking out.
Yeah.
So again, a pretty simple, well, about as simple as it gets. Committee pack or invoice packet for this month. It's once again just Colliers. As the architect gets on and up, we'll start adding their invoices once they get received into this list. But just a single invoice for $12,785.25. Any questions? Happy to answer them. Otherwise, there's a draft motion in the committee packet if you want to read that off.
Does anyone want to make a motion?
I'm trying to find.
I don't have the exact language.
I can make the motion.
Oh, great.
I actually have the language if you want. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the monthly invoice packet for May 2022, dated July 5th, 2022, including an invoice from Colliers Project Leaders for a total approval of $12,785.25.
Great.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, Woody seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 We're on a roll here.
That's all I got. I'm out.
Moving on to item number 6. Public comment. Anyone? Anybody with the hand raised? Any comments?
Nope, no comments.
Oh, it's going to set a record.
Wow, 2 quickie meetings in a row.
We should do Tuesdays more often, I think, here. Number 7, Any remarks, anything else, anyone wants to discuss? Good. Oh, wow. Hearing none, I'd like to call the meeting adjourned at, let's see, world record time, 5:42, 12 minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, world record.
That is a record.
I'll
That is-
second that.
Oh, you guys are great.
All in favor?
night.
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.
Aye, bye.
Cover from the holiday. Take care.
Take care.